What up, y'all? Episode 16 here on the Burton Breaks podcast. That marks about what's 16 divided by 4? 4?
4 months.
4 months. Not too shabby, man. Yeah, we got some good topics today. We got a lot of the stuff in the hobby. We've finally had a couple clips doing some numbers out there. So the podcast is only growing, man. Make sure you guys subscribe here on YouTube. Go follow our TikTok as well, Burton Breaks Pod, and let's hop on into it.
All right. We wanted to go more controversial or just kind of getting around those controversial topics. First, we got CT scanning in the hobby. Now, I know this is more of like a joke to a lot of people, but I do believe you had a guy come in, talk about it. It is a real thing in the hobby, so I want to know your takes on it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't here when it happened, but someone came into our card shop and handed a flyer to one of our workers saying that, they offer CT scanning services and they do it for a lot of large companies and card shops in Michigan. So, I mean, clearly it's a problem if they have business doing it. From what I've heard is it's more of an expensive thing. So you're not going to have an issue if you're, no one's scanning blasters, no one's scanning. If it's a sub $5,000 box, I don't even think you have to worry about it. But you get into some of those bigger boxes and you start dealing with some, unreliable companies, and who knows if you're chasing anything. They might know exactly what you've already got in the boxes. And, we like to crack jokes about it, but that should be illegal. Like that shouldn't just be frowned upon or whatever. Like that should be literally illegal. If you're scanning a box, you know what's inside of it, and then you're selling it as a mystery product still, essentially. I mean, that should be a felony. I don't know. I don't know if there is any actual laws against stuff like that, because I feel like the hobby itself is pretty unregulated, but it's just nuts to me.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because, like, they're coming to us. I don't know if they knew you were a breaker or anything, but there could be breakers out there that are doing that, like in-person stores. Like when I go in an in-person store, obviously, I'm not a big on boxes. I'm more big on breaks, but if I'm going to buy a box, I'm obviously hoping I'm hitting the case hit. And if they're CT scanning and there's a 0% chance that I hit the case hit,
you're not buying any boxes over 5K. What are you talking
no,
about?
No, absolutely not. But like say
you think someone's like scanning, Phoenix hobby for hits and shit, like
that's the thing. Like if you've got the machine or whatever it is, and you can scan these boxes to pull the color blast.
It's not. No one's buying the machine. I'm pretty sure this machinery is like millions of dollars. They're paying them a service. They're paying them a service to take these boxes and tell us what's in it. Give us like, just because these CT scanning companies do it for like, high tech industries and stuff like that, where they're checking the insides of stuff like that actually is important. But clearly, if they can get more business and people are going to pay the money for them to scan boxes, why wouldn't they do that too?
Yeah, or like, I can be honest, I don't know much about it, or like what you can see in the machine. Like if you can just see every card, or like if there's tell signs of what you can see. But something like Panini Black, if you can see the manga, why wouldn't you just...
Oh, Prism Black?
Prism Blacker, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to do a little bit of research on it, but I don't know if it's like you can see every single card or how it works. I know it's really easy with like Flawless and stuff. You can for the top cards, you can like clear as day. There's pictures on Twitter of like a CT scan. You can see there's a logo man in this box.
Yeah.
So I think those ones are really sketchy. Like,
yeah, that's probably what.
Unless I'm getting Flawless directly from my distributor and putting it on the store. I'm not buying Flawless from the secondary market. Like I'm not picking up Flawless from DealerNet, from anything. Like if I'm buying Flawless straight from the distributor or straight from Panini, otherwise I'm not touching it. I'm not taking the risk.
Okay. And this might be a difficult question, but like, what's a way to know? I'm gonna kind of slide into the breaking part of this. Is what's a way to know it's a trustworthy breaker then?
You can't. People, a lot of breakers are it's like we're almost acting on screen. I do it like I have like an on-screen persona where I'm not being like a fake person, but you like, it's not like you're playing a character, but you're just playing like a more energized version of yourself.
Well, you got to entertain for 5 hours straight.
It's entertainment. So, a lot of these breakers are entertainers and they're like good actors to a degree. So there's a lot of piece of shit breakers out there. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who are just they're not good people genuinely, and it's tough to tell. Like in any industry, it's tough to tell who good people are sometimes. Like sometimes you can pick up on it right away, and you're like, that guy's a sleaze bag. Like it's not
Yeah.
hard. Like you see that, you say that, you can think of three breakers off the top of your head
Yep.
where I'm like, I would never trust that guy.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
can think of three guys right off the top of my head where I'm like, I don't know how you guys get business. Like I the first video I saw of you, I'm like, yep, that guy is a piece of shit. And
Yep.
it's just like it's like some people just I don't know. I think some people just are too easily, trickable by these guys who are like used car salesmen. And you like if you can't tell the real bad ones from like there are people who are good at hiding if they're good or bad people. And trust me, there's a lot of good breakers out there. I don't like to be negative.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of really good breakers out there that I'm friends with, and I know they're just genuinely good people that, built a business and they love the hobby and all this stuff. But there is a lot of breakers out there who are, predatory on their customers. Every breaker out there, it's a business. Like we're here to make money. We're selling our boxes for more than we're purchasing them for. That's not a crime. I think there's just predatory practices that people do, especially on whatnot, where like
Yeah. I was gonna mention that.
you'll see breakers that are, they'll be selling a spot that if you do the math, it should go for $100. They'll sell it for $200, and then they'll tell you that they just got like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah. I was
It
gonna.
just sold for $200. What are we doing? I can't be losing like this. It's like anyone who has a phone can go look up what these boxes are worth, do the math, and see that you just doubled your money, and then you're complaining about it. Here's my thing: if you sold a $100 spot for $200, that's cool. I don't.
Yeah.
That's fine. But then for you to lie and say we're getting crushed on this, we're getting killed here, that's what I have a problem with. That's predatory. Straight up lying to your customers so you can get more money. That's a problem. Now, if you sell $100 spot and it goes for $80, go ahead, say like, guys, we're getting crushed here. We got to be higher, or we can't keep running these breaks. That's fine. But the lying, or even if the spot does go for $200, just be like, all right, guys, next team up.
Yeah.
You don't have to lie about it. You don't have to sit there and say, all right, guys, bid lower, bid lower. Everyone's out there to make money. If someone was bidding $200, why would you tell them not to do that? But to lie about it so they bid more, that's the problem.
Yeah. My favorite thing of all time. That's probably a lie, but one of my favorite things is people post these TikToks where it's like exposing comps on whatnot streamers, and it's the funniest thing ever. So shout out to you if you make those.
It's the same thing though. Like if you're gonna put up a card and you're gonna like, there's sometimes where someone just puts up a card and they're just screaming and they're like, if you fall for that and you bid 3 times what it's worth, that's on you. The problem is when they say, no guys, no,
Yeah.
we're too low, and it's like, you're already double comps, you're not too low.
Yeah, no, like
The
they're like,
lying is where I have a problem. That's the predatory issues. If you're just gonna sit there and be like, guys, this is, K-Sit, Jameer Gibbs, this is such a sick card, guys, and it goes for double what it's worth, that's not on you, bro. You're running a card and you're hyping it up.
yeah, it's
That's
like
your job. But when you start lying is the problem.
it's the point where you start talking about the price and complaining.
Yes.
That's the point where it gets me like, dude, like I've like the videos, they're like $15 cards running as like high-end singles auctions, and it's going for like 150, which is like, I mean, it'd be fine if they're not saying anything about the price, but the moment that they're like too low, like I just got wrecked on
exactly.
this card, and I was like, bro, I know you bought that for $12. Like it's
or at the end they're like, wow, fucking stole that one. It's like,
yeah,
you just stole it for 4 times what it's
it's like
worth.
500% profit, but I guess yeah.
Yeah. They're like, wow, guys, all right, no more Drake Mace tonight. It's
Yeah.
like, you sure about that, buddy?
Yeah, like it's insane to me. I mean, I'm not buying.
And
singles or
there is a
anything,
lot
but
of people out there who do whatnot single shows and whatnot breaks where they're still selling they're selling stuff for more than it's worth, but they're doing it the right way. Like
Yeah.
if you have a hot room and people are just bidding against each other and they're paying what they want for cards, as long as you're not literally lying, like you'll see someone say, guys, minimum $200 card here. You look it up, it's a $100 card. That should be, in some case, I think that should be illegal. Like you can't lie about the price of something and then auction it.
yeah, no, it's
I think there does need to be some sort of regulations in the hobby because, with no regulations, there are the people that are going to take advantage of these people. But at the same time, if you're falling for that, how can you blame? You're also to blame if you're the
Yeah.
one if you're the one who's going to listen to these guys who are just screaming at the camera and saying we're too low, we're too low. It's like, okay, get some common sense and realize that there's 1.4 thousand people in this live stream right now. The odds that these cards are going to go for a good price are slim to none. Every single card in there, when you have over 1,000 people all bidding within 5 seconds, it's just going to spike.
Yep.
So maybe go find a stream that has 50 people in it and go get some deals,
Yep.
Like at some point you're doing it to yourself. I understand that these people are entertaining and they're running cool cards and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you can blame them for doing that thing, and that's bad too, but at the same time, if you're falling for that, you're also to blame. You gotta take accountability at some point.
Yeah. A big one of those, it's not even wax, it's not even singles, it's repack whatnot breakers that are just making the most money because they've
I
got
haven't watched
these.
too many of those. I see a lot of it like exposing the singles things and
Yeah.
stuff, but
I'll be watching them. I don't really buy them. Obviously, it's way too expensive for my taste of whatever, and I know I'm gonna get absolutely cooked on it. I watched a whole break repack. I think it was 9 repacks or something like that. And you got the guaranteed downtown, guaranteed kaboom, and all this stuff. But I mean, the kaboom might be up. I don't know, but the downtown is like there's like 4 downtowns that I saw, and it was like the cheapest downtowns that you could buy.
throwing a Henry Ruggs or something.
Henry Ruggs, like I don't even know, like
Clyde
there's some
Edwards-Helaire.
Raiders one that was like I don't even remember the
Darren
guy's
Waller or something.
yeah, something like that. Awful, just awful cards. That it's like cool. It's a downtown, but this dude just paid $450 for the spot, like, and he's making whatever 32 times 400 is because he's paying that per spot, and then you're open 9 boxes. Like this guy's making,
Yeah, here
and
I
he's
got
complaining about
I got a really interesting one here. Let me see how we want to start this off. This is definitely a little bit controversial, but people that are breakers specifically on Whatnot, it could happen on TikTok too, but I see it a lot on Whatnot. Breakers running repacks that they are repacking. These aren't even sealed repacks. They know exactly which cards are on the table. They're running like breaks that guys guaranteed $7,000 to $10,000 card. They know what the $7,000 to $10,000 card is, and then they're auctioning off teams, and then they'll do like a pick 2 or a stash or pass, and then a big buyer will hit a card for the Spurs, and then they'll be like, "Oh, this is a good spot. You got to take this one. You got to take this one." And then magically, a big card will come out for the Spurs.
yeah.
But they know every card that's on the table, so why wouldn't you listen to them? And it's also like, okay, you know what the $7,000 to $10,000 card is. Let's say it's a Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordans, the Bulls got hit, the 5th team off the board. Now you're selling a break where you're like, guys, could be Wemby. Could be Wemby. Guys, it could be a Curry auto. Could be a big Drake May. It's like, you know damn well that the card you just put on the table is already gone. You should not know what's in the breaks specifically for your repacks. You should have those repacks sealed by someone else. They should be sealed, that you should have no idea what's on the table. Having specific cards that are just hidden in a box and you know exactly what it is, that's also predatory to your buyers.
Yes.
To sit there and after that spot is gone, sell them on a dream that doesn't exist. Like if you know that's in there and you're sitting there, just that's so used car salesman-y. Like you know it's gone, but you're gonna sit there and tell Johnny, who's gonna spend $2,000 on this spot, that he could pull a massive Curry when you know damn well he can't.
Yeah. I think I had something else to say. I totally forgot about it. Damn. Okay.
Sick, dude.
It was a good one. It was a good segue and it was a good thing, but I cannot think about it right now. Itched my foot and I lost it. No, I mean, yeah, that's just not. I don't know. I feel like things like that. Oh, Whatnot? Did they not add the? You have to know, like you have to have a list of what's in the.
I think
repacks.
That was like a big thing, and then I've never heard anything about it again. I don't break on Whatnot, but I haven't heard of any issues with it. I think it's a very loose thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I'm not too involved with it.
I don't know. I feel like there's nobody really has cases, so it's like you can add all these things, and then you can just. I feel like once the biggest card hasn't been hit, you can just add a bunch more. I don't know. I don't really know how it works, but I feel like that could be a way to segue it and to make people know what's in it, or just like tell them what's like tell people what the big card is, you know? Or like have like if you hit I don't know. Or like have like a number hidden in there. I don't know. Something to spread it out more, make it more I don't know. That's a whatnot deal, not a me deal. We're not jumping
Yeah.
into those breaks, so it's not our big a deal, but I do think that's pretty scammy. It's pretty dirty job, but
All right, let's talk about what makes a good repack. In your opinion, what makes a good repack?
a fair ceiling and a fair floor. And I think a
Do you think
fair
that's it?
no, I think there has to be a fair amount. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more floors than there is ceilings. Um, but I think having in between cards is very good too.
I think there's far too many repacks that are it's either a floor or it's a ceiling.
Exactly.
There's nothing in between.
Nothing in between. And that's kind of where I think that's where some people excel and some people just are absolute trash. Like you'll see a lot of breakers that'll have repacks, like you said, one floor and there's 5 ceilings. And it's like there's a good percent chance, but at the same time, 95% of the time they know exactly like what repack that card's in and when they're gonna put it in, and they're not gonna put it in the
I think
first
that's
break.
another thing that makes. I mean, we just talked about it, but that's another thing that can make a good or a bad repack. Is I just it goes back to finding a trusted breaker. But I think that when you have these people that are sitting there and 20 minutes before stream, they're opening up their boxes and putting the cards in, and they know exactly what cards are in. Don't even get me started on the eBay Authentics or whatever, but they start putting their own cards in, and they're like, when a breaker knows exactly where every single card is in a product that they made themselves, that's a huge issue because if someone domes the repack, they could have their buddy come in and dome it, and he goes and buys one of these, and oh my God, guys, we just hit a $10,000 card for $3,000. Well, guess what?
No
They
more.
just made up that name, and they just did that so you guys would go buy them.
Yeah.
So that person gets the big card, and everyone else who goes and buys one gets all the shitty cards. And it's just far too much opportunity for people to be scummy when they're making repacks like that. Like it should be the breaker who is opening the repacks should not be the person putting the cards in the repacks in any capacity.
Yes. I also think a big thing about it is the amount in the case, because I feel like the more you have in a case, the more ceilings you can have, the more mid-tier cards, medium tier, low tier. I feel like it's more fine spread of amount of cards. I think if I were to buy a $100 repack on like 3 different channels, and I got like I didn't hit ceiling, but I did hit floor, and I got like an $80 card off a $100 repack, I'd be like, I only overpaid $20 for this card. Like it's fine. The problem I see a lot of the times is you'll buy $100. I mean, I'm not buying $100 repacks, but I'll buy $100. Say buy a $100 repack. I hit an $80 card, and I'm stuck with an upper deck card that is not going to sell anywhere.
You're talking about people putting shitty unliquid cards in repacks.
Yes, that's a big one. It's like you guys had this card for the last 3 years, and now you have nowhere to put it, and now I'm stuck with it.
Yeah, people like you'll see some just bad names come out or just undesirable cards. It's like, yeah, dude, sure that card sold for $30 once, but it's a guy that nobody wants. Like he's in the G League right now. And it's just because it's a cool card of a bad player doesn't mean it's a good card that anyone should be, wanting, right?
Yeah. I also one of the things, shout out Flavor Burst here, is I've gotten I don't know, like 2 or 3 Flavor Bursts where it was like a $30 card, we'll say, and I graded it 10, and it ended up being like a $200 card. I feel like having that kind of opportunity with the floors.
I see so many repacks that only do graded cards. I
Yeah.
feel like why would you not want raw cards in there? Because you can either pull if you're gonna pull a floor, let's say the floor's $30, you can either pull a $30 PSA 10 or you can pull a $30 raw card. And the PSA 10 is the PSA 10. The raw card, it might be a PSA 8, it might be a PSA 9, it might be a PSA 10. So you look it
Yeah.
over and you're like, this one's clean. wow, this card's actually $100 in a PSA 10. I just hit a floor. I can grade it. Not every raw card in a repack is going to be a PSA
No.
10. Obviously, not every raw card out of a hobby box is a PSA 10. So you got the opportunity to, get a card that could grade a PSA 10. That's half the battle right there. I mean, that's upside. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't know why people only want repack only repacks because or slab
Great.
only
Yeah.
repacks because I think it's just like it's more secure, I guess. You don't have to worry about damaged cards. You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
you
And they're
know,
set in grades. It's a pristine card, but
it's easier to say like you can negotiate the value of a raw card because maybe one sold for $50, but this one's not in as good of condition, so it's $40 or whatever. But if it's a PSA 9, it's a PSA 9, and look, you can look at PSA 9 sales, and the last three are 35, 35, and 40. So that's a $37 card or whatever
yeah.
you want to call it. Like it's more, I think, more safe from like a repack brand perspective.
Yeah. And I
But I
mean,
think I if I'm ripping a repack, I would like the opportunity to hit a raw card.
honestly, I'd rather hit a $30 raw card than a $30 graded card
Yeah,
every day of the week, no
I would,
matter
yeah, for
what.
sure.
Because the chances of me like, there's just more opportunity with a raw card than there is a graded card. Because if it's a $30 PSA 10, that's all it's gonna be, unless that player is like goes on to be Michael Jordan or Tom Brady or whatever kind of card it is. Like that card's probably not gonna go up from a PSA 10
I think that's
pricing.
definitely. I would agree with that.
So I mean, to make a good repack, I'd say good raw cards, good amount of in a case. Knowing the floor and ceiling, that's a big one. I hate when repackers are like, there's floors and ceilings, guys, but
Oh my God.
they don't tell you what it is.
I was stupid and I bought into a repack break without knowing the floor and the ceiling, and direct quote from the breaker was, there is no floor and ceiling, guys. You either like them or you don't. And I was just like, sick, dude.
Yeah.
Sick, dude. Guess what? I don't like them, and I probably should have watched before I bought it.
Yeah.
But I was just fucking around. It was just one of those things.
Yeah. I think having a known floor and ceiling is a big part of it. And then having those like mid-tier cards. Like you have the chance to hit a floor, you have the chance to hit a ceiling, but you also have the chance of just making your money
I
back.
think they've got to be cool cards as well. Like,
Yep.
I feel a lot better if I do hit a floor card and I'm like, you know what? That's a floor card, but that's a cool card. Like, yeah, I lost, but you can open a hobby box and spend $500 and pull $10 worth of cards. You can spend $200 on a repack. You hit a $50 floor. You know what? I just hit a $50 card. Sucks that I lost on the box. I didn't hit a ceiling. But it's a cool card.
Yeah.
You know, most cards that go into at least good repacks are at least cool cards.
Yeah, no, that's they kind of
And good names. Like, you can open a Panini Black hobby box and, oh, well, my auto was Shamari Connor. That's sick, I guess. Like, sucks, you pull a Caleb Johnson RPA, the guy doesn't play. There shouldn't be any Caleb Johnsons in repacks. You don't have to worry about hitting those names that are just utter and complete dog shit.
No. I mean, but there is, back to the controversy, a lot of repackers that don't do any of that, have an unknown amount of repacks in a case, even if they probably don't, I mean, they're probably not even having cases. They know exactly what they're putting in. There's not an exact floor and ceiling.
There's
You
not
got
enough
shitty ass
transparency.
cards.
There's
Even
not
if it's a downtown, I feel like there's definitely tiers of downtowns that are like, these tiers sell really well, and these tiers just, they're downtowns, but they don't really
downtown
sell
only
right.
repacks, and it's just filled with Terry Bradshaw, Henry Ruggs, and all the 150 to 200.
Terry Bradshaw
downtowns.
was the one that came out of the one that I've watched.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah.
And like that's a cool card. Don't get me wrong, but when you open a downtown only break and you can consistently see that every downtown is just $150 to $200, all the shittiest downtowns of like Warren Moon and like Earl Campbell, and those are Terry Bradshaw's a legend and all that stuff, but those are the cheapest downtowns. And I get that you gotta have floors and ceilings, but it kind of takes away from the whole point of having a downtown repack if you're never gonna pull any of the good ones.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like if there's got to be a way to fix it. Obviously, it's not our problem to fix it because we don't really run repack breaks on whatnot, And I feel like I'm not really seeing any guaranteed kabooms, guaranteed downtowns on TikTok as much where we are,
A little bit here and there.
but I do see them like
I
every
think those
other and
boxes
whatnot.
are cool. Like when we have the case hit cotton candy flavor burst, those are some of the coolest repacks. Every card's a case hit.
Yeah,
I think it's just the problem is just that people do it and then they just because they just feed on people wanting to pull a downtown, so they'll charge $500 and someone will be like, well, I could open a $500 Donruss box and try and hit a downtown, or I could open this $500 box and I'm guaranteed to hit a downtown. It's like, yes, that's true, but you're guaranteed to hit a Terry Bradshaw downtown, an Earl Campbell downtown.
yeah,
You don't have the opportunity to hit a numbered downtown one and also a Patty Mahomes downtown, uh, you know, Lamar Jackson downtown. You're not going to hit any of the big players. There's people out there that do it right. I've just seen too many times of people that are just, they're in it. They're not in it for the long haul. They're in it to try and make a quick buck off of people, to feed on people's, uh, you know, lack of knowledge on the hobby and the market and stuff. And those are just the people that, maybe there should be like a board that regulates. You have to get like your breaker's license to be able to
yeah.
run breaks. Like, you got to have, a license to be a dentist, yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to have a license to give haircuts. Like, maybe someone should step in and there should be a board for breaking if it's going to become this big of an industry.
Yeah, I think.
Like,
I mean, I wouldn't be a bad idea. It fizzle out all of kind of like the shitty. What's the word for like dirty breakers? I guess.
I mean, and I feel like, I struggle with that a little bit because at the start of me becoming a breaker, I was in my parents' basement, and there was, if the barrier to entry was you have to get a license, I wouldn't have given it a shot. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go and get my breaking license and then try and start a breaking company. So it's kind of tough because then it really like deters people from trying to become a breaker, which you know would be good for all the bad apples, would be bad for someone who's gonna find their love for the hobby and start a breaking company and have a journey similar to what I had. Like, that probably wouldn't have happened if there was you have to get your breaking license, because I was in college and I wouldn't have spent 2 weeks doing an online course and following guidelines and all that stuff to
or maybe that's what
get
we
that
need.
license.
Just guidelines.
Yeah,
Just
I think everyone should be able to do breaking, but you have to have guidelines, and if you get reported to this company or something, then they can do something. I don't know. I'm not into all the politics of anything like that. It just seems like with such a big industry with so much money going around, and gambling here and fraud on this side, and just so many things that are just, it's a free for all right now. Maybe there should be something that comes in and takes over and kind of regulates it a little more.
I've got a question for a lot of people. The loaded boxes. I thought you'd be good at explaining how it's not. I mean, kind of impossible to.
Wait, you don't think we get loaded boxes? I'm just kidding. No, I mean, yeah, the whole loaded box thing is definitely funny to me because, one, there was an audit came out that somebody hired a private company to audit and see, they ran, just like any audit company does, they see the numbers of this many boxes going out to the public of they had these type of hits, and then they followed breakers and saw how many boxes they opened and did these ones have these hits or whatever, and they came to the conclusion with like 99% confidence that there was no foul play involved in breakers getting loaded boxes or whatever. But at the end of the day, people see, oh my God, this company just hit a gold kaboom, and then they hit a one of one, and then they hit a Patty Mahomes auto. Like, how do they keep getting all these big hits? Well, you're looking at the highlight reel. That's like watching Stephen Curry highlights and being like, how does this guy never miss? Well, if you watch the full game, he shoots 50%, which is still great, but he's missing shots during the game. It's the same thing with breaking. Yes, we're hitting big cards, but you're not seeing the 5 boxes that we just ripped prior that sucked.
Yeah.
Like, you can, it's not a thing. There's the biggest boxes don't go to the biggest breakers. I believe that with the fullest of my heart that is not a thing.
Yeah. No, I think a big thing about it is just the clips. That's kind of what all people seem being like,
Yeah,
oh, but they're not watching the 5-hour stream where we got 3 wall cards up there.
yeah, it's like they see the clip of us pulling, oh my God, you hit a Tet McMillan 1 of 1 auto and you hit a Kaboom and you hit a logo woman. It's like, yes, we did. We ripped $50,000 worth of boxes to get that. Like it's people go to Walmart and they're like, dude, how do you pull these cards? I've opened 7 blasters and I haven't pulled anything. It's like, yeah, you opened 7 blasters. We opened 7 cases of hobby product.
Yeah.
Yes, we pulled better cards than the retail hits. So it's like, it's just it's people that are uneducated that they don't understand that the retail hits don't stack up to volume hobby box rips. It's math. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's
I
one of
think
the funniest takes I've seen.
a big disapproving or a way to disapprove that is when Flawless came out and we domed. I guess we didn't dome it. I don't know, what was it, like 12 cases or something like that of Flawless?
No shields.
No shields.
Then we ripped, I think, over 100 boxes of National Treasures. No shields.
No shields.
Yeah, I mean, like, in my opinion, if you were Panini or you were Topps,
I forgot about National Treasures, dude. That was a pain.
if you were Panini or you were Topps, and you did have the ability to either send loaded boxes to the customers or to a breaking company, wouldn't you want to give it directly to a customer? Because on one hand, you give it to a breaking company, that's free advertisement. People are going to see that box and they're going to be like, wow, this product's loaded. I need to go buy some of this. That's a benefit. You send it out to a customer and they open a box and they hit a massive card. You got a customer for life right there. Like they're just going to keep ordering boxes directly from you. Whereas, you give it to a breaker or whatever, then they hit it with the breaker. They're just going to keep ordering from the breaker, which you're selling your product either way and yada yada. But at the end of the day, they can't. I'm pretty sure it's like it would be illegal for them to give out certain loaded boxes to either breakers or whatever. So I'm pretty sure it's just all random, and that's just the nature of the beast, because pretty sure they give their boxes to the distributors and then the distributors give it out to us. Like I've been to these distribution warehouses to pick stuff up and it's just a dude named Craig, packing these boxes and shipping it out. I don't think the warehouse workers are going to be like, oh yeah, I don't think they're going to be hush hush when ship this box directly to Burton Breaks for loaded box. It's like, okay, you think Craig, we don't get boxes directly from Panini. We don't get boxes directly from Topps. There's very few breakers out there on the planet that are getting boxes directly from Panini. Now, Topps is a different situation. People are getting direct boxes from Topps because that's the only way they do it. They don't have distribution, but it just seems like such an unlikely thing. Maybe that's just our situation. Maybe some of these other breakers have a different viewpoint on it. I don't really know.
I don't know. What's your view on the eBay side of cards? Because we've been talking about this a little bit during stream for like.
Here's a fun topic. People are always complaining about eBay taking 13%. I can't with the eBay fees. Why? I'm not gonna sell it on eBay. I'm gonna lose all this money in fees. It's like, well, where else? If you sell it to eBay, you're gonna get 87% of your sale. If you go to a card show or a lot of other places, you're not going to get that 87%. Like that's a pretty fair percentage, especially considering a lot of the times when you sell something on eBay, you can sell it over comps because you're like eBay is you're getting the most eyes on your product. Think about it like this. If you want to sell something on your Instagram story, on Twitter, on Facebook Marketplace, you're going to post it there and you're probably going to give a little bit of a discount so people will buy it. And you're getting how many eyes on it? Maybe 100, 200, 1,000. You post it on eBay. That's a marketplace of millions of people that are, thousands to hundreds of thousands. If it's a crazy card, are going to see the card that you're putting up. The eyeballs are unmatched. The fact that they're only charging 13% for people to buy and view your cards is honestly not bad at all.
No, I mean. My thing was like, first off, I've seen people selling cards on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, first off, worst place to do it people are gonna. It's the kingdom of lowballers.
I will say if I was of like a if I was just a person enjoying the hobby and I had a full-time job and I had kids that played sports and I'm a relatively busy guy, you know the last thing I want to do is spend my time listing cards on eBay. Like why would I want to sit here and list cards on eBay, ship cards, print labels, go to the post office? I'm a busy like if I was a busy person and my business wasn't sports cards, if you're just the average collector, an average hobbyist, that sounds like the last thing I would want to do. I would go to my local. The problem is like we're a card shop that pays 80%. You
Yeah.
know, you go to most card shops, they're gonna offer you 50 to 60%. So I guess that's why people have to sell it on Facebook Marketplace and card shows or whatever. I would either go to a card show, go to your card shop if they're paying a fair percentage, and I would bring my cards there. I'm not gonna sit there and waste my life for 7% difference between someone paying 80% and me getting 87% on eBay and then having to ship it and buying bubble mailers and getting a label printer. You're gonna be down below 85% anyway.
Yeah.
So if the extra, couple percentages is worth your time, then go for it. If it's something you enjoy, then go for it. If you don't want to deal with the eBay hassle and all that shit, go to a card show and find someone who's gonna buy your entire collection out. Bring it to your card shop if they're that's I don't know of any card shops that pay 80%. Like
No.
I've been to a lot of card shops and they're paying 60%, down to four. I've gone to a card shop and gotten offered 40% for a card
Yeah.
before I was doing it. Like
Before I went to this one,
yeah, like it's
I went,
crazy.
Yeah, it was bad.
Card shop lowballing is pretty nuts.
I had like a $180 card, and they're like, "Give you 60 for it." I was like, "I'm good, dude. I'm good."
I get that you got to make money. Like we have a storefront here, and I know a lot of brick and mortar shops aren't blessed to have, a breaking outlet as well where we can not have to make as big of margins out in the shop. But the like we buy cards at 80% and then we sell them for sticker, like at comps for sticker. We're not inflating them to overvalue,
Yep.
and we're not paying way undervalue. Like we're making a set 20% or less margin. Like if someone brings in, sometimes we're stickering it a little bit underpriced or we're paying a little bit over or whatever. 20% or less margin is not a lot to work on for any business that has the overhead that we do, but it's just a way that we got to provide liquidity for our customers.
Yep.
If you have someone who comes in and buys $2,000 worth of boxes at your shop and then they hit $1,000 worth of cards and then you offer them 50% of that $1,000, well, they just made $500 off the $2,000 box. At least help them out and provide them liquidity so they can get, a decent chunk of that back, or if they buy $100 box and they hit $1,000 card, they're probably ecstatic to take your $500 at 50%. But it's just disingenuous to your customers over the long run. Like you can't, there's pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
Pet peeve of mine is just card shop, because most people aren't going to sell it to these card shops for 50%, but then you get the guy who comes in with his dad's collection, or hey, my brother passed away, we're bringing in all his cards, and then you offer him 50%. They're like, oh dude, we really appreciate that, you're going to pay us $5,000 for these $15,000 worth of cards that they don't know is $15,000. A lot of times the people that are accepting these offers from these lowballs at card shops are just people that don't know any better. They don't know
Yeah.
how to sell the cards any different. They don't know what their cards are worth even. They'll just hand them their cards, and then the shop person will look them over. Yeah, we can give you $400 for this. And they're like, sweet, dude, that's $400 more than I had yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I guess it is, but I don't know. Just feels disingenuous.
I think a lot of people don't understand how close card shows are to them. Because when
Depends on where you live, I guess.
I mean, yeah,
the Midwest,
of
I
course.
think, is bigger in cards than a lot of places.
Yeah, but like when I lived in Cadillac, something I didn't know was that like every 2 weeks there was like a card show in Cadillac in my hometown,
It's
and
really
I had
difficult.
no idea.
It's really difficult to figure out where these card shows are.
Yeah.
Like I'm very well versed in the Michigan layout and cards in Michigan and all that stuff. There was a card show this weekend that was like a good card show. I didn't know about it. Like there's got to be an easier way to
Like for
there needs to be an app that's like just card shows across the country.
Yeah, I used to do like powerlifting, so like competitions, and there was like an easy website. You can like had every single city, and you could click on the city, and it would tell you exactly where and when and how to sign up for these shows.
That's
And it
how
was
it
like,
should be.
it's like, why can't we do that with card shows?
Yeah, it's not easy unless you're like in the loop, and sometimes even if you are in the loop, you'll just miss. You'll just like,
Yeah, I didn't know there was one in Lansing till the first time I met you there.
and that's a huge show.
That's a humongous show.
Like that's 500 tables and
The only
shit.
reason I knew that was because one of my buddies from Cadillac was like, "You going to Lansing show?" I was like, "What?"
It's
He's like,
crazy.
yeah, today. I was like, "Sure, why
It's
not?"
very hard to find out card shows and stuff.
Yeah,
Makes no sense.
there should be a way easier way to do that. I don't know how, and I don't know if it's on me to figure that out, but
I ain't gonna start no app.
no.
I think someone tried to, but I don't think it worked out too well because it has to be like a huge app where everyone's putting in the information and stuff,
Yeah.
or it doesn't work.
No. But I do think if you look hard enough, you can find them. Facebook groups is how I found out the one in Cadillac.
Yeah,
got 'em all in
Facebook
Facebook
group
groups.
sounds like the main method.
Yeah. So if you instead of going to eBay, if you want to sign or sell your cards at a card show, you go into Facebook groups, find out that card show, and go
Or
and
if
sell
you
your
want to do it
cards.
from the comfort of your home, you can go to burtonbreaks.com and go to the Sell Your Cards tab. You email us a couple pictures and we'll offer you. And you can either take the offer or you don't take the offer. It doesn't really, I mean, sucks when you comp cards and offer someone and then they're just like, no. But it's part of the biz, man.
Yeah, if it's gonna happen at card shows, it can happen online. So yeah, I do sell all my cards with Burton Breaks. It's a good way to get quick cash for me.
He loves it when he does his challenges. He brings them right into the shop and
Yep.
sells them.
The next day. Yep. No, I've sold a lot of money in cards in that last year. I want to kind of know my profit and loss. I guess not really loss since it was for free, but
Yeah, you probably got a lot of profit of free cards.
yeah, free cards. But it wasn't
How much free money did you get from challenges and blessings and all that stuff with food and
biggest card I hit was that I think Pete Crow Armstrong Kaboom.
yeah.
Shout out to Donovan who just was like, "You want to do a 1v1?" I was like, "Sure, but I'm not paying for the blue rads." He's like, "I'll just pay for it." I was like, "All right."
That was ridiculous.
And then I don't know, I've hit definitely over well no, because I had that one day where I hit I've probably had over you think 5,000? Because I hit the
Yeah.
SGA.
Yeah, what do you mean that's the Pete Crow Armstrong's your biggest card? You hit a
I hit an SGA.
$1,300
Yeah.
SGA.
But that was from a blue.
Oh, you're saying
full
like
$500
the
card
biggest
from a blue,
ROI.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
I mean,
the
you've
hot
gotten
chip
cherries.
hot chip was a good one.
You've gotten cherries. You've probably gotten over 5K worth of stuff.
Yeah, last year. That was
How much money worth of pizza and stuff do you think you've gotten? Probably $300-$400
Yeah,
worth of
pizza.
pizza, cookies, and
yeah.
ice cream, Culvers.
Dude, pop was a big one at the start.
Oh, the Pepsi. I forgot about
I've
the
got it.
Pepsi.
Yeah, the Pepsi.
should
Dr.
definitely
Pepper
run
was
that
so
back.
easy. The Pepsi was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I
Would you like to run back a Pepsi challenge?
feel like I could get the Pepsi challenge now.
But you been training or something?
I've been training. Rocky type train.
Yeah. For the movie you've never seen?
For the movie I've never seen.
Never seen
Sprite-
Rocky, by the way.
Sprite was impossible. There was 0% chance I was ever doing that.
2 liter of Sprite for a liquid gold, you're not getting it down? 30 minutes.
Absolutely not. Like I don't literally think it's possible unless you're
We've
like
seen-
a professional chugger.
Professional chugger.
That's the thing. My whatever reflex it is where you burp a lot.
Acid reflux.
My acid reflex is terrible. I burp all the time. Like I'm over here. You probably on this. I probably burped 3 times during this. It's bad, but I mean, Dr. Pepper was easy. Sprite couldn't do it. Pepsi was not okay to my stomach. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I haven't had to do too many challenges. Have I done any challenges really? Push-up challenges. I
Push-up
guess.
challenge. Yeah,
I haven't done any like food or water challenges. I guess the shot challenge, but
the shot challenge.
that wasn't that bad.
Trying to think. I had the jumping jack challenge. The hardest one was probably the push-up. 2 push-ups every order.
That one was. I can't believe you finished that one. That one was crazy.
I did 500 push-ups in like 2 hours or
That
something
was
like that.
nuts. Yeah, that was impressive. It's definitely easier when you only have to do like 4 or 6 at a time. If you had to do like batches of 20. How many batches of 20 in a row do you think you could do before you couldn't do 20 if you had to do them every 5 minutes?
I think I could get up to like 100. I think every 5 minutes though. Yeah, probably 100. Maybe a
Yeah.
little, maybe 120.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be interesting. Challenges are good though. If anyone wants to come on the stream and pop some challenges.
Yeah, I'm always open for a challenge. The
Yeah.
problem is I'm not doing no challenge for free.
No,
Heck
I
no.
mean, that's why it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, my ankle huge.
Is it huge?
Is
You
it?
got a cankle?
I fucked up my ankle way too many times. I think they're broken.
We've got a winner though, dude. Indiana.
Oh,
Fernando Mendoza comes home with the trophy.
what a great story. I mean, they were 150 to 1 to win the national championship, and I mean, Fernando Mendoza just seems like a great dude. You know,
Yeah.
the story about his mom and stuff, and just seems like it's such a deserving kid. You know, winning the Heisman, winning the national championship, undefeated season, takes Indiana from a team that's terrible to a national championship. It's just they're gonna make a movie about this someday.
Yeah.
I think the issue is that the movie's gonna end right after the national championship because he's gonna suck in the NFL.
You think so?
He is.
I
not
think he's gonna be a
good.
JJ, or he's gonna be like a mid tier, like a CJ
I mean,
Stroud, Bryce Young.
in terms of his Heisman win, you go and look at the past Heismans and Heisman quarterbacks. Just some of the worst stats ever. I mean, he's great guy. I'm rooting for him. I just you look at the tape and you look at the talent that he's out there, and I just don't think he has the tools, and I just don't think he's that special.
I
I think
think
he's just on a really great team.
it could be a Cam Ward situation though, where he's gonna get put on the Raiders, who have Genty and they have
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
Their offensive line is terrible. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
You've never seen a great offense with a bad offensive line.
Yeah. I think he'll do okay if he gets put on the Raiders, which I'm assuming they're not going to keep Geno. That it's going to be pretty hard to have a worse season than they did this year, but I think they'll do better. But
You get the first overall pick, it's usually for a reason.
yeah, I don't think they're not going to do Patriots good, but they'll do okay. I think they'll go. I
Really?
think they'll go 6 and
Who's their head coach going to be? Did they fire Pete Carroll yet?
they not.
I
Be surprised if
haven't
they
even been paying
did.
attention. I'm sure they did.
Yeah, nobody really cares about the Raiders anymore.
Maybe next year, dude. Bowers, Genty, and Mendoza. That'll be a fun squad.
Yeah, and then maybe they get some trades or something like that. But I hope they can do something. I hope Mendoza can have at least
I'm
a
rooting
good
for
chance.
Mendoza for sure.
Yeah, he seems like a good kid. Good kid. He's probably older than me, but we got the playoff standings and Bo Nix. You've been talking up about Stidham, dude.
I'm not saying Stidham's good. I'm just saying that the Broncos are not where they are because of Bo Nix. They have a really good defense and they have a simple offense that I think Jarrett Stidham will be able to run just fine. I think it's going to be a close game between the Patriots. If I had to bet, I'd take the Patriots. But if the Broncos win that game like 23-20, I'm not going to be shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Drake May did not look good against the Texans defense. Nobody does, to be fair, but I think he's going to have a shaky game against the Broncos defense, which is really elite. And I mean, you got a team that wasn't carried by Bo Nix. It's not like Josh Allen got hurt. Like if Josh Allen got hurt, the Patriots are beating the Bills by 25, and it's not going to be close.
Yeah.
You know, the difference between Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham is like maybe a field goal to a touchdown offensively.
Really.
In my opinion, I think it'll be a close game down to the wire. I think if Bo Nix was playing, the Broncos would be favorited because it is in Denver, and I think that I would take the points with the Broncos. I think it's a good bet.
Yeah, they got a pretty good defense though out there.
They got Benito, they got PS2, they got great linebackers. They've got Riley Moss, white corner. I think the Broncos are. It's going to be an entertaining game. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe the Patriots just slay them, but I don't see it happening. And then as far as the other side goes, Rams versus Seahawks.
That's gonna be a movie game, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be one of those games where it's just going to be a shit show. Like the Seahawks defense is really good, so Matthew Stafford and the Rams aren't going to look that good. And then I think Sam Darnold's like kind of average. So I think that it'll just be like a low scoring game. I'd take the under in that one.
Yeah. What do you say about the Bills Broncos game? You see that catch?
Oh yeah, I watched
The
it.
catch interception?
I think that was the right call.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I by the rule, it sounds like it was the right call. I mean, it sucks if you're a Bills fan,
I guess, yeah.
but I think it was the right call. Like, it is what it is. Obviously, would have loved to see the Bills win now because you don't want to you don't want to see Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Championship. You know, it'd be much more entertaining to see Josh Allen versus Drake May. And then imagine if the Bills won and it was two AFC East teams and two NFC West teams and it was just two divisions left. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, seeing divisional matchups in the playoffs is always cool.
Yeah.
Because you got that rivalry there. Like you just saw Seahawks 49ers. That's actually kind of crazy though. The Seahawks are going to play two NFC playoff games and it was against the 49ers and the Rams.
Yeah.
Because they got the bye week.
Oh yeah.
So they've played both of those teams twice already.
Yeah.
They're going to play two playoff games so far and it'll be against teams that they've already played twice. That's just super ironic.
Yeah. And then have they played Patriots or
I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, maybe.
Broncos, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. You never know with the AFC, NFC stuff. They match up sometimes.
Yeah. We ready for the tier
You got a little
list?
game?
I got a
dude?
little game.
All right, run it.
I don't know where my phone is, but it's basically
Right
just.
there.
Oh yeah, it is right there. I've got. I won't even use my phone for this one because I've got my. It's a TV show. TV show top 5 draft.
Okay.
So just top 5 TV shows. We can snake it. You can go first. Go third. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we could do a snake. We could do a snake draft. You can go first.
I'll go first. All right. I actually don't even remember
No,
my
no,
first
no.
one. I don't remember my first one.
I don't have a list of pre-prepared answers.
Okay.
Why do you get to know the game and make pre-prepared answers? That's
Okay,
crazy.
I already know your first one, and I'm not gonna take it from you. But I'll go. Welcome to Derry. Taking that number one.
Ooh.
I enjoyed that one a lot.
First overall feels like a bit of a reach, but great show.
Great show. I enjoyed
Great
that
show, great show. I mean, you already know I'm gonna go Game of Thrones here.
Yeah.
Just the GOAT show. I mean, obviously the ending wasn't what I hoped it would be, but you know, I think the first 6 seasons, or was it 5 seasons before? I don't know. First 5 seasons were great. Makes up for all of it. Game of Thrones, easy number 1. Oh, I get to go again.
Yeah, you're snaking.
Snaking it around, huh? I'm trying to think of shows that you would take because you're gonna pick some weird ass shows. I feel like, but
Yeah, I've got one next up, and there's 0% chance that you take it.
all right, I'll just go with my favorite shows. I'm gonna go with The Walking Dead next. Was that on your list?
No, I
No?
knew that you were
Alright.
taking that one too.
I'll take The Walking Dead. I feel like The Walking Dead is just something I grew up watching. You know, especially when it was on. I remember we would always watch it as a family, and then there was like a little talk show afterwards. Like just good memories watching that in middle school and going to school, and all your friends are talking about what happened in the episode and stuff like that. So that's a good show. I liked that watching up.
For my number 2, I don't even know if you know this one. I'm gonna take Reacher.
I've seen it. I've seen the
I
first.
liked
I've seen the
Reacher a
first
lot.
season. I don't know if I kept watching after that, but yeah. I mean, I think that's a bad take in the
I
top
think
5
this
shows
is
of
my
all
top
time.
5 in no order. Just kind of like,
It's got to be in order because what if I steal one of yours?
I mean, you can, but
All right.
all
I
mine,
mean,
all mine, you wouldn't take. I don't.
yeah, you watch interesting shows.
Yeah. 3, I'm gonna take Stranger Things. Pretty generic. It's been alive
Damn,
for
I
a
wasn't
long
even
time.
thinking about it. I mean,
Got Stranger Things.
that's a good pick. That's a really good pick right there. That's a really good pick right there. I'm gonna go with The Last Kingdom. Just if you know, Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Lids put me onto that show, and it's up there with Game of Thrones for me. That's probably my second favorite show of all time. And my next show is one that is definitely on your list.
What's your go?
Yeah, I know.
No.
The 100.
Yeah, it was. It was on there.
I love that show. That was my favorite show of all time growing up until I recently seen Game of Thrones a couple years ago, and then now The Last Kingdom. But I would still say The 100 is probably third favorite show of all time for me.
Terrible
I watched it when I was in middle school, so I wasn't like big on all the stuff, but the story and the plot and stuff was just so cool and unique.
Yeah. The plot was really good. The acting is pretty subpar.
Questionable,
Yeah,
to say the least.
but it's a
And
good
then
show.
in the later seasons, the plot gets a little silly too, I think, but
Yeah.
it gets a little repetitive and stuff. but definitely some unique situations and stuff. So take that in my 4 hole.
4 hole. I'm for my was it 4?
Yeah, you got 4 and 5 right here.
For my 4,
I gotta think.
this
of
is
my last
more
one.
nostalgia based. So like me and my mom used to watch this show every night,
Okay,
and it's more of like a sitcom. It was called Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I seen it. Yeah.
That was more of like a top 5 because it's
Nostalgia.
nostalgic.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those cool shows to throw on in the background, but not like something I'm sitting down and locked in on.
My number 5. Dang, I have it.
I've got a good one for the last one.
I have a good one, but I have it on my list.
This was a great top 5 for me.
I've got
As
on my
long as
list.
you don't take my last one, which I think there's a chance you might.
Oh shoot! I got 2 of them that are really good. I think you're gonna go that one, so I'm gonna go Severance.
Ooh,
Severance
that's
was
a
a top
recent
5.
show, but that's a great one.
I like that.
I probably wouldn't take Severance just because there hasn't been enough seasons yet, and we haven't seen the payoff.
Is there 2 seasons? Is there gonna be another one?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. I can't wait then. I'm taking Severance. I like that one a lot. I think it can go.
What was your last one?
I had my last one as The Last of Us.
The Woke of Us. Pass. First season, phenomenal.
The Last of Us, first 2 seasons. I wasn't the 3rd season that kind of got like, all right, pal.
I think that there's only 2 seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, the first season, goated.
Goated,
Second
for
season,
sure.
lesbian.
But I already took The Walking Dead, so I'm not gonna like go into that kind of category since I already have like 2 apocalyptic shows. So for my 5 hole, we're gonna switch it up. All mine have been kind of like action adventure shows. 5 hole, we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna take The Office.
Yeah, I can see you taking that.
Dwight Schrute, all time, one of my GOAT characters right there. I'm really happy with my top 5. Those are probably my top 5 favorite shows of all time. So you didn't steal any of mine. Maybe I would have thrown Stranger Things in there, but I don't know what I would have thrown it in over.
I think Stranger Things, everything but the last episode of the entire show.
I would have. The thing is, I haven't seen The Walking Dead or The 100 since I was in middle school, so it's really hard for me to remember exactly what those shows were versus Stranger Things, which I've seen kind of recently. So would I would have to rewatch them to really rank those ones, but those are probably my top 6 shows of all time. Would be Stranger Things, The Office, Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, The Last Kingdom, and the 100. Or I don't know whatever other one I had in my top
I had a
5.
lot of those. Well, a lot of mine I did. For my, I had on mine, I had The Last Man on Earth, which is the greatest background show of all time. I had The Last of Us. I don't know if you ever seen this. I have Criminal Minds.
Oh yeah, dude, used to watch that one growing
Dude,
up
I used
all
to
the time.
When I was younger, I used to go off that one. That and then The Flash. Bro, I was on The
Ooh.
Flash, like
Ooh.
white on rice, bro.
I forgot a show. This one might have to sneak into my top 5 if I could redo it. The Penguin.
Oh
The
yeah, you've been talking
Penguin.
about that one. I've never
That
seen
show
it.
is so good, dude. It's like it's a superhero show, but there's no superpowers or anything in it. It's just almost like a street level crime show. Like it's so good. The character development, the plot. I mean, it's that would have to go top 5 for me. It's only been 1 season, but I mean the acting from Colin Farrell. If you look at a picture of him and look at the makeup he had to put on to look like the Penguin, I mean that is just the twist at the end when he. I'm not even gonna spoil it for you because you got to watch that show
Okay.
someday. But that is one of the greatest shows of all time, and you don't get a lot of good I feel like superhero shows. They're always just superhero movies are dope, and then the shows are always just shit. Like when I'm
Yeah.
thinking about superhero shows, I'm thinking of like Ironheart and all the ones that Marvel put out, like the Captain America and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier or
That
whatever.
one's dog.
Just terrible. Most of the Marvel shows are horrible. Secret Invasion, like, oh. And then you've got Peacemaker. Have you seen Peacemaker?
No, I was
All the
I
DC
see it
TV
on
shows
it.
are hitting. I feel like
Yeah.
James Gunn taking over the DCEU.
Dude, I saw
gonna be huge.
there's a lot of funny clips from Peacemaker.
Peacemaker you would love Peacemaker because it's like a comedy, but it's got some action in it too, and it's got like a decent plot, but it's super funny.
Because I'm a big fan of Deadpool.
It's like the DC's version of Deadpool.
Yeah?
It's really good.
Alright.
And John Cena's acting is actually really solid in it, which
mean,
is surprising. He's
really?
not like The Rock.
But that's his whole job is to do acting. WWE.
Different type of acting though.
Yeah.
But it's like he's like himself, but he's like also like a good actor. Like it's hard to describe. Like the difference between The Rock and John Cena is there's a big gap right
Yeah.
there.
Being John Cena's better
Yeah.
at acting.
Yeah, yeah. The Rock is bad. The Rock just plays The Rock in every movie.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
haven't seen his movie The Punching Machine, which seemed like a more out there role for him. I would like to see that to see kind of him taking on a more serious character, but I don't know, man. I like film. I like talking about TVs, movies, and stuff like that. I always watch whenever I watch a TV show or finish a movie. I always go on YouTube and watch other people's reviews of it because I like to because sometimes they'll point out things that I didn't even think about or stuff like that. So I like nerding out about that stuff. I mean, play with cards every day, so I like to build Legos. I'm just a big nerd at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Is
all I
that it?
got.
Is that all we got right
That's all we
there?
got.
Good episode, man. Episode 16 in the book. Again, make sure you guys subscribe. Appreciate you guys if you were able to listen all the way through. And we got some good stuff planned for the pod. So we'll see you guys on the next one every Thursday, 10 a.m. EST. Peace out, guys.
Peace.